CNBC-TV18 Weekender.
Welcome back. I'm in conversation with the Himalaya Drug Company CEO, Philipe Haydon. There's a lot happening at Himalaya as we speak.
Yes.
$1 billion in revenue, that's the target that you expect by 2020.
Yes,
Run us through what is the current revenue figure and what's the kind of growth rate that we're seeing going ahead?
Okay, I'll explain this. The $1 billion has to come from our global operations. So my part of the deal is to do 50% of that. Right now I'm on 2,200 crores in India, so I need to add on another 1,000 odd crores over the next couple of years, which is definitely going to happen. Going beyond that, I'm even looking at one step further. I would also want India to be $1 billion. Himalaya India should be $1 billion entity. Because that's the pace at which India is growing. So as I say, take one step at a time. Let's first hit $1 billion as a company, and then the next vision would be for Himalaya to hit $1 billion.
And how soon would you expect that to happen?
It should take 5 years.
So we can expect that to happen by 2025? Is that the target?
Somewhere around that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you have several growth drivers. You've got personal care being one of your largest divisions. Over 40%, I understand, of the revenues come from personal care.
Yeah.
What's the kind of launch pipeline? What's the kind of growth outlook for that category? Because I do understand there's a lot of focus in this personal care space as well.
Within personal care itself, we are a very strong face wash company. 500 crores of our revenue comes from the face wash itself, which makes us the absolute market leaders in India by AC Nielsen figures for face wash.
With Neem being the market leader,
With Neem,
right?
absolutely correct.
Okay.
But if you take the face wash category, we are the market leaders. We hold the largest market share in India. The other categories that we're working on currently are soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, body lotions. These all have independent marketing teams which are working towards growing these verticals. These are sub-verticals within the personal care vertical. If you've noticed, we've very aggressively launched a range of men's products, and you would have seen a lot of talk on television.
And we've seen Virat Kohli.
You've seen Virat Kohli and the RCB. We signed up with them last year.
Absolutely.
So they've done good for the brand, and there's been a tremendous amount of traction in terms of the men's products which we're launching. Focus area is going to be men's, the entire men's range, toothpaste, shampoo, soaps, body lotions, and of course the growth driver, which is face wash. Our main pillar of the personal care business will continue to be under focus. So that takes care of our plans for personal care. Are we launching new products? Yes. There would be at least 80 products in the pipeline.
80 products over the next financial year?
Over the next couple of years, yeah.
Okay.
Under research. Now, what you need to understand is that Himalaya doesn't put together products and launch them. It takes at least, for a personal care product, at least 3 years. It could be anywhere from 3 to 4 years to 15 years to launch a Himalaya product. My final dream for personal care would be to make personal care $1 billion entity.
What is the kind of growth that you expect in the pharma vertical? Because we also do understand that it's getting more and more regulated from the government point of view.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes.
So just run us through your roadmap.
If you take the pharmaceutical growth, a few years ago we were clocking a CAGR of about 27%. That CAGR has now come down to about 15%. Okay, it's also a very mature business, and when you have a certain level of maturity in the business, obviously your growths are not as fulminant as one would expect. But are we happy with about 12 to 15% or even more? We are very happy because the market itself is growing just over single digit into double digit, if you take the pharmaceutical market in India. So
which would be your 2 or 3 biggest brands going ahead?
In the pharmaceutical business, definitely it's Live 52, which is more than 250 crores. We have Cystone, which is one of the first product for urinary stones. We have a whole range of other products like Pilex, etc. There are more than 45 products in the pharmaceutical range.
So you've also expanded majorly in the baby care space.
Very majorly into baby care.
You've opened exclusive stores as well.
Yes, we just
as we
opened first.
speak.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What's the larger roadmap there?
Personally, I believe that baby care will be about $500 million in the next 4 or 5 years.
And would that mean opening more stores or increasing the pace of launches?
The stores are more for people to come, as they say, come taste the brand, come and experience the brand, come and touch the brand, feel it.
Take us through the overall store count across your brands, the larger standalone exclusive Himalaya stores that you have on a pan-India basis.
We are, at the last count, I think we were 196 a few days ago, and they plan to hit 200 by the end of May.
And what's the larger roadmap in terms of more new stores?
We'd look at about 400 to 500. our stores, as I repeat, are not really great profit centers, though they're breaking even and making money.
And this 400 to 500 store number will be hit by in how many years?
Maybe 3 years.
3 years.
2 or 3 years, yes.
And what would be the investment that will go through?
We have certain internal. I'll tell you how our rupee is divided. The rupee earned, since it's a privately held company, I cannot share certain figures with you. The rupee earned is divided 3 ways: R&D, infrastructure, and human resources.
Okay.
Now, the next few years are going to see a lot of increase in investments in infrastructure, which would include our stores and which would include setting up new plants, etc.
In terms of manufacturing facilities, what's the roadmap? What is the kind of increase? Are you looking at adding more capacity? How would the expansion really take place?
Oh yes, for sure. Currently, we manufacture out of 44 facilities that are entirely controlled by Himalaya. They may not be owned by Himalaya, but the entire input material, the manufacturing process and the quality assurance is controlled by Himalaya. So we manufacture out of 44 locations in India. That number obviously is going to get ramped up over the next 4 or 5 years. We should be adding on pretty close to maybe about 25 more facilities in the next 4 or 5 years, because currently if you're looking at 2,500 crore turnover going to $1 billion, it's obviously going to take us a certain amount of ramping up in manufacturing.
One thing that the market wants to know is, when will Himalaya finally go and list on the bourses? Is there a timeline? Is there a thought process that's internal?
Never. We will, to quote our chairman, we will always be a privately held company. We will always be driven by values. We will never be driven by quarterly numbers. We will be driven by long-term goals. The minute you do your IPO and the minute you get external investors in, you are driven by quarterly numbers. And Himalaya will be driven by, my 2020 plan was made in 2007. So that will give you an idea of the kind of long-term plans that we look at.
So you would never look at a listing? It's completely off the table?
Absolutely. It's not to be considered at all.
There's also been some speculation that there could perhaps be some sort of buyout that's been in the works. Would that be a factor that you would consider?
Never. The chairman is very clear on that.
Even partially?
Never, nothing. Himalaya is a family-owned company that is run by professionals. There is almost no interaction between the family and Himalaya, excepting where the chairman is involved in research and development of new products. That's where his major interaction is. So no one's ever going to buy Himalaya out. It's not for sale. It's never going to be for sale. I'm taking the liberty of quoting my chairman. And they're never going to be an IPO. And we're always going to strive and stick to the values of giving you the best possible products you could ever hope for anywhere in the world at affordable prices.
Alright, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break. There's lots more coming up on the other side.
CNBC-TV18 Weekender.